What's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Man No Clan. This is episode 15.
The Death of Show.
Dun, dun, dun.
My name is Mark Buckley.
I'm the Gruder Reaper.
I am Gruder.
And I'm James Jonathan Roundtree, here in heaven awaiting these departed souls.
That's what heaven looks like?
It's a little
LSD
crowded.
trip.
It's a little crowded in
I
there.
freaking knew it.
Looks awesome.
I knew they had a fresh supply of Hawaiian and plaid shirts in heaven.
Yes. Well, they can't see that.
Oh, well.
They see his head with the stuff going around it. They don't see that he's actually in his living room.
I'm sure he's going to wear them sooner or later.
Well, he's not in his, they don't see that he's in his bedroom, with his dirty laundry laying around him.
Dirty laundry's right there. All right, this intro went way long.
Hang up your dirty laundry.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta air it out. Where's that stuff?
Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about Quantum Break, Dishonored 2. Mark's on that right now. We're going to talk about a few movies. We're going to talk about the new Doctor Who. But before we get to all that, I guess we're going to talk about something sad. We're going to talk about a lot of people that have passed away in the last 2 weeks. And we're going to start with a lady named June Foray. Gruder, why don't you tell us about her?
Well, most of the people I don't have no idea who she is. I probably don't even know the characters that she actually voiced, which on the picture you can see is probably every bit of I'd say 60, 75 characters probably.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
Cindy Lou Who, I know is one of them she did. From
The Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah.
A lot of the Warner Brothers, the Bugs Bunny cartoons, a lot of the characters on there. I know she did the Granny off of Bugs Bunny.
The one with
Witch.
The one always said Tweety Bird, yeah.
Yeah. She did the witch, the Wicked Witch. That was
Witch. Flintstones characters.
Did she do any Nickelodeon characters? Because I know the person who did Chucky's voice did Ah Real Monsters. A lot of those characters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they do usually use females for the males, but I don't think she did any of that. The most famous one, I guess, would be Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, I thought she did. I think she did Natasha. Apparently.
I think she did Natasha too.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, all those voices for him for many years and everything, and she was, I guess what you say, the behind the scenes that made our childhood amazing. Because, like I said, you never see her, you don't know who she is. If we didn't have the internet, we'd have no idea about all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know any
Like on Twitter, you don't know who dies.
That's right. If it wasn't for Twitter, the 4 people that I will follow on Twitter, they all 4 said the same thing.
Which you only follow yourself, me, and Tree. So that's
And
one other
the
person?
president, Donald Trump,
Oh yeah.
he was really distraught. Yeah. He's like, damn, my first girlfriend died.
I taught a funeral. Sorry.
I'm sure people probably hear the name like, oh, that sounds like a name I remember. And if you see the picture, you should remember just by seeing him. He definitely has one of those faces that you're like, oh yeah, I know him. Most recent that I remember him in was that movie Ready to Rumble. It was a wrestling movie with John Arquette, and I had Diamond Dallas Page, a bunch of the WCW characters, the wrestlers in it. He played the trainer for Dave Arquette. He trained him how to wrestle and everything. Because apparently, I'm not going to get into the whole movie. But anyways, he was in that one. Let's see. Ed Wood, Mission Impossible TV series. I think Frankenweenie.
He was another character actor, like you were talking about before. Like he's another one of those guys where you kind of don't know his name, but when you see him in a movie, you're like, oh, I remember him. He would have made a great Alfred.
Oh, but he doesn't have a British accent.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta have a British accent for Alfred.
No, with all the Batmans they're throwing in there, you don't have to have anything special.
You gotta be.
He's just old.
But he was the great Raymundo in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He was in the movie 9, which wasn't that
That was that claymation or not claymation? That was
stop
the
motion?
stop motion. Yeah.
It sort of looked like stop. Yeah. Entourage, he popped up in that. Yeah, but like you said, he's a character actor. He pops up in almost everything. I'm trying to think of movies from the 80s that he was in. I'm looking them up right now. Yeah, Ready to Rumble was in 2000.
Yeah.
He was in Sleepy Hollow. He's just been in a ton of stuff, dude. Rounders, X-Files.
Yeah, I mean, he was in this and that and everything. I mean,
His IMDb is like, it says 175. He was in 175 different things.
wow.
Yeah. That dude's working.
Yeah. Damn.
So Martin Landau dead. He old. We sort of expect this about the time when we start losing a lot of these older actors that were kind of old when we were young. But we're also, with John Hurd and a few others, losing people that just freak happenstance. And that sucks.
Well, the next guy is a huge loss.
Was, I guess you'd say, the father of zombies. He gave us pretty much the zombie culture. If it wasn't for him, there'd be no, video games probably of zombies like they are. You probably wouldn't have The Walking Dead. Because if it wasn't for him, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure somebody would eventually come out with it, but I guess you would consider him the father of the zombies past.
Yeah, he definitely cornered that market of what zombies kind of were. Like before him, zombies were just, I don't know, they were different. They were like mindless. Like these ones, they had an objective. They were going to get someone, not just one person, but just brains. Like before, they didn't deal with brains, and plus. The Night of the Living Dead was kind of a pseudo-racism kind of a thing where he killed the lead character, and then the black guy survived.
Actually, then that one nobody survived, I don't think.
No, the black guy survived from when I was.
Are you talking about the black
it.
and white version?
Yeah.
No, he died.
No.
Yeah, because at the end of that one, he goes down to the basement, and I forget. I guess he get bit or something. He actually, the black guy, the real tall black guy. Yeah, he goes in the basement, and then when I guess the police and everybody come to the farmhouse, they open the door, and he comes out. He's like, and the girl standing, like girl that was with him the whole movie, is just like kind of like real depressed that he died, and she went and killed him. Yeah.
Oh, when I was reading stuff online, they were talking about how Night of the Living Dead was a real it was just a story about racism and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I read somebody's article who had no idea what they were talking about. But I mean, Joe Rogan talked about. I don't know. I don't know what.
I think the girl killed him at the end of the movie. He came up from the basement, all zombified. It may have been sort of maybe the zombies were the ones being raped. I don't know how they turned that.
I don't know.
But so yeah, he's gone. Well, not for long. Depending on how when he died, they shot him in the head or not.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He's probably back now.
Yeah, walking the streets of Hollywood like you sons of bitches.
They got him chained in a room at Area 51. All right, let's see.
And so there was Joan Foy passed, and like I said, that's sad. Also, we had John Hurd. I don't know if anybody. You don't probably know the name. No, Roundtree. You know the name at all?
Oh, once you said it, and it hit.
It hit, yeah. Once you know what he did was he was the dad from Home Alone.
Oh.
And then he also was in Sopranos.
He was a councilman, wasn't he? The councilman or something like that.
I think what's the cop? I believe he was like a detective.
Oh yeah. That might.
The councilman was a different guy that he had that wore the hat that finally. He wore a hat with the camera in it that tried to take Tony down. That was the councilman, but before him was the cop that he had under. He was the cop that he had under his payroll. So, I mean, of course, other things, but of course, famously known for it. And he didn't die of natural causes. They say he went in for back surgery, went back to his hotel after surgery just to kind of recoup, and they found him dead. So they're thinking there may have been some sort of like infection or something happened that he just died.
And he's a great character actor. He's one of those guys when he pops up, you're like, oh, I know that guy. Like we don't know his name, but you see him in everything. He's probably been in Law and Order. He's probably been in CSI.
Oh.
He's probably had like one episode shots, like roles in almost every television show you've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, yeah. The new Doctor Who. Actually, when I was actually discussing with my brother a couple weeks ago when it broke, he's like, "Wait a minute, there was already a female Doctor Who." I'm like, "No, everybody's saying is the first ever lead by a female who will be the Doctor." What it was is apparently, I guess there was an episode or something where a female pretended to be the Doctor.
Right.
So
Pretenders.
I know.
And for
I know, walk 500 miles. Sorry. But anyways, yeah. So.
And Doctor Who fans will understand how this is possible. For those who don't watch Doctor Who, the character goes into like a metamorphosis every once in a while, and he changes his physical appearance, and that's how they explain different actors coming in and assuming that role. He just changes its physical appearance. Doctor Who's a Time Lord. It can be a female or male.
Yeah, it's sort of like Critters, the old '80s movie. Remember where they had that guy? He could always morph into whatever he wanted to just by looking at the picture. So I guess maybe that's something they can do. Like
yeah, it's just like Critters.
Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't Critters? That was Mimic, wasn't? No, that wasn't.
No,
Mimic.
that was
Oh,
Critters.
that was Critters.
And they were the bounty hunters to kill the critters.
Yeah, there was a female and a male.
Well, it was a male, and then it was just like a shapeshifter.
I thought he had a counterpart, like a female.
Well, what it was, he was a shapeshifter.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
But yeah, he was a shapeshifter. He looked at a picture, and he always made him look at a picture of a centerfold hot chick. He's like, "Oh no, look, turn it." So he'd always have a hot looking like partner.
I forgot about all I remember from Critters is that giant ball of critters that run for that person and then just turn them into bone.
Yeah.
They call them like,
God, now I gotta watch Critters. Thank you, Joe.
Like the dollar store, it's just like paper.
Thank you, Jodie Whittaker. You've Mark.
And Mark.
So Chester Bennington died this week, and that was weird. Like, huh?
I was gonna ask you why you were smiling, but go ahead.
Well,
yes.
I can now be the head lead singer of Linkin Park. There's a job opening.
That's the only reason. Okay, in this basement, filming with you. But no, when I was on Reddit and I saw that he passed, and I went to Facebook immediately to see, okay, who else is sharing this? Who else is saying? And I went to Twitter. Is this real? Is this not? And I think I posted it to the 2-Man No Clan page. When I realized that like he actually passed, dude, that to me sucked. Like it wasn't as hard as Paul Walker, not to like put a bad light on it, but to me, like, because Paul Walker's was a freak accident. Okay, Chester decided to leave.
Well, I don't know. Have you seen the whole conspiracy theories out there right now? Have you read any of that stuff?
Oh, Vin Diesel took him out so that he could be the star?
No, I'm talking about Chester. The conspiracies behind that.
No.
Oh, apparently, yeah. There's like conspiracies like him and his buddy that just passed.
No. You're talking about Soundgarden's lead singer.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell.
Yeah, those two were clearly like best friends.
Yeah.
And of course he killed himself on his birthday, or what would have been his birthday. No, they're saying that there's like a whole conspiracy that those two
are hanging out with Tupac.
No, that they were about ready to expose a huge Hollywood child sex scandal, and people found out, so they had him killed. What else was there? There's a bunch of different ones out there.
No.
Well, Chester Bennington spoke about a year ago or earlier this year about
when the album came, he was talking about his song Heavy, and he was talking about that song and another song about, like, this was one of the albums where they let other people write, from what I understand. Like, they didn't write the songs, they let other people write it. From what I understand, was because it was getting a little too dark with what Chester and Mike were writing. So they brought in other artists, and they had 20 rooms filled with different artists, and they were writing lyrics and songs, and then they would go in and just listen to it, and if they liked it, they accepted it. If they didn't, they kicked it out. Well, he went on this radio show talking about Heavy, and he was talking about how the lyrics were like really, really hitting home for him. And even in this interview, you could not see him get teared up, but you could see him like really talking about, man, when things get hard, you don't know what else to do, and it was everybody put the hashtags on it, and the thumbnails were Chester reaches out for help. Chester's looking for help. You know what I mean? They're just kind of like trying to make money off the situation.
Yeah.
But Chester's been messed up for a very, very long time. I mean, when he was a child, he was sexually abused by an older male. I mean, and he carried that stuff with him for a very long time. So, I mean, I understand depression. I don't have it, but I can understand how it can make you turn off your influence on the world around you. Like he left, he was married, divorced, and remarried, left 6 kids. I mean, if you don't think that 6 kids will keep you wanting to keep doing what you're doing, you have to be in a really dark place to take yourself out in the manner that he did. I mean, there was no drugs in the room. They did find a bottle of liquor in the room that he was in, and he was fighting drug and alcohol issues before he passed. So I don't know. It really sucks because I love Lincoln Park, and they're coming to Riverbend here, and well, yeah, on August 9th, I believe, was the date.
Yeah, they canceled that tour. Yeah,
It sucks.
Linkin Park's one of those bands that I did not like when they first came out. That Everything You Say to Me song just sounded like teenagers. Like, and they came on the tail end of that whole new metal scene, with the rap metal with Korn and Limp Bizkit and all that stuff like that. So I just thought that like these were just late to the party teenage kids rapping over metal nonsense. I wasn't a huge fan of them. They just sounded, I don't know, they just sounded sort of like the immature version of all the things I'd just heard for the last 5-6 years. So I didn't really get on board with them until I guess the next album, which is, what's the second album? Hybrid Theory? No,
Hybrid Theory was the
first.
Meteora was the second one.
Yeah, so was that. That's right. So when that stuff started to hit the radio again, I didn't buy all their albums because I wasn't a huge fan, but like those were songs, like when those songs, like that album hit, those songs came out, I was like, okay, these guys are something different than what I thought they were, and I dug them. I haven't listened to anything here recently, not since, I guess, the last few songs after that Transformers movie song came out.
The album's really good. I mean, if you're a Linkin Park fan, it takes a couple listens to really buy into it because it's more, it's weird. It's like upbeat music with dark lyrics.
Yeah, see, like with Linkin Park, I fall in the camp of I don't hate them, but I don't. They're not a band I pursue either. But this dude dying, taking himself out, sucks. It sucks for his family. It sucks for his fans. It sucks for everyone. It sucks for him because he's gonna miss out on the rest of his kids growing up. It's tragic that he's gone because there's a lot of people that are gonna miss him, and that's I still don't understand suicide. I think Gruder's in the same boat. I just don't understand suicide. I know there's depression and things like that. And there are circumstances. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make any, I guess, judgment. Anything to add, Gruder?
What? Yeah, sure. Keep my mouth shut.
All right, next.
Well, that concludes the Death-isode
Dun dun dun.
section of our episode number 15 here at Two Man No Clan, presented to you by the Factory Default. Next, we're going to get into video games and movies.
The deaths were brought to you by Death.
Ooh. So, anyways, what I was saying there. Thanks a lot.
Well, I had a joke, but we totally stepped on that. So anyway, we're going to go to...
Just say, no, let's slow it down and say your joke. Do it.
Tell them what happened.
Do it.
Gruder changed his shirt, and I was going to make a joke that we came back 2 days later because that's how long it took for Roundtree to edit this shit together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
I didn't change my shirt. Dude, it's Wednesday night. It's been a few days.
Oh, I've been down here since Sunday.
No, you didn't. Hi.
Hey, we're going to talk about Quantum Break for the 5th time. I bought this game along with Dead Rising 4 and what was the other game I'm playing? Dishonored 2, which we'll talk about in a minute.
During the Xbox Ultimate Game Sale?
No. Well, it might have been a part of that. I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't remember it being a part of that. But they were good prices. All of them were like between $25 and $30. So I bought Quantum Break, and that game was, from all the reviews, they said it was good, but they said that you became too powerful too quick. And on those types of games, I like to play them now. Used to, I'd play them on the hardest setting just to try to get all the achievements. And like you beat it on the hardest, you get everything below it. Now I play it easy. In that game, you are overpowered because I never died until the last boss fight. But it is so good. I mean, it is really, really good. Like even for $40, I would say buy the game. Even though it's nowhere is it priced for $40, but that's how much I would pay to play the game, knowing what I know, having never played it, if that makes sense. But you're basically you're there when a time machine goes off and you get infused with these powers, and you can.
Like the time machine blows up, or
the time machine goes off. It doesn't blow up, but it goes off, and it causes a ripple in time, and you're like blown back or something like that, and you're infused with these powers. And you can create like a Master Chief bubble shield where you can shoot out, but no one can shoot in. You can throw your time bomb, like you can throw these time stops and just stop time around somebody, and then fire bullets into it. And then when the time thing stops, the guy becomes unfrozen, and you just start like getting riddled with bullets as you're running away.
Neat.
Sort of like Fear, when you hit like a slow motion in Fear.
Yeah.
You like shoot really fast and then hit the slow motion and then like just wait for it. And when it drains down, all of a sudden they're like, yeah, and all of a sudden they're just like, and they're
Dude. And one of the best things about this game is the cutscenes. I mean, there's a good 30-minute video every chapter, and there's 5 chapters. And I went back through and just watched the videos, and it's like a TV show, like a Fox TV show. It's really, really well produced. The story is great. Everything about the game is amazing. I mean, is it Last of Us amazing or Uncharted? No, but it's not supposed to be. It's one of those games where it's just fun to play. Like I'm playing. Go ahead.
I think I bought this because you recommended it. Did I buy this, Scooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I because I've already got a bunch of crap on my hard drive.
Yeah,
I'm just play it.
Oh,
Play
okay.
it. It's one of those games when because like I'm playing Dishonored 2, which I remember liking Dishonored. It's been so long. And Dishonored 2, I can only play it in 20-minute chunks. I play it and then I quit. And then I play it and I quit because I'm not engaged. It's one of those games where 3 hours into the game it gets better. You know what I mean? The entire time I'm playing it, I'm thinking about Quantum Break.
Oh, wow.
And I just want to go back into that world and just do everything that I didn't do before, because you can choose between. Now, I don't think it actually makes a difference, your choices, because one of them, it's not a spoiler, one of them is they kidnap this girl who is the head of a resistance or something like that, and they can either kill her and cause everyone to hate you, or she can they kill her, no word gets out, everyone likes you, or they don't kill her and she gives a speech talking about how you're the one who caused all this, like your character, and then everyone hates you. So I chose just to have her live because I figured she would be a big part of the story going forward. None of it plays out like most dual choice games. I'm like everybody liking you. It's not like you're interacting with a crowd and they're cheering you. You know what I mean? I think it's all newspapers you find. The newspaper says, oh, well, this person's a good person. Or the news reports that play on TV as you walk by is this guy is amazing and he's doing all this stuff. Like, it doesn't really affect the game so much at all. And so whatever you choose, it's not worth playing a second time for the choices. It's worth playing a second time because the gameplay is so tight, just the controls, and the story is really, really good, but your choices, like I said, don't matter. All the story, for some reason, they're still kind of there later. Like, they're like, oh yeah, he got out. You know what I mean? Like, because it's a live action film. And
so
one of the
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Like, 'cause I know this game was tied to like live action stuff. So is that in the game, or do you have to like exit the game and go watch like an episode or something?
Now it's a downloaded thing. All the reviews said how the live action was buffering and stuff like that. I guess when I bought it, they fixed that, and it's its own downloadable content. So you download all the FMV straight to your hard drive, and it just, as soon as the chapter's over, it just goes right into a story. And they even do a last time on Quantum Break. So like the first
that's cool.
Minutes, it replays everything that happened in full motion video, and then it goes into the episode, which is 25 to 30 minutes. So it's great. I mean, just sit down with a beer and you're just playing a game, and as soon as that full motion video comes on, you just sit back and you watch it for 30 minutes.
Cool. See, I kind of like that. I think I would kind of like that episodic sort of.
Dude, it's really, really fun. I ran into a few bugs where you're supposed to, like in Assassin's Creed 1, you have to run around and chase those diamond-shaped things, and you can grab them or whatever.
Yeah.
They have those in this game, and those are what you use to upgrade your character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's times where I'm in a room and I'm like, well, if I walk through that door, I know I'm going to get a cutscene. But it says there's 2 orbs in here, but I can't access them. Like, they manifested into weird spots. Now, I don't know if every time you play it, it changes where the orbs are, but one of them was inside of a giant 1983 CPU tower thing, and you can see the light emanating from inside of it. And I'm standing next to it, and if you press Y or triangle, depending on what you're playing, your little hub thing says it's right there. And so I'm trying every angle to get it because I'm like 2 orbs away from maxing out my character. Once again, I'm chasing stupid achievements 2 orbs away, and there are 2 in this warehouse.
So it's a crackdown all over again.
Access them because they're outside of the play area. I'm just like,
next in Mark's the next thing Mark will chase in his life, Crackdown 3, the orbs.
Oh my God, no, I'm not. I can't. I know I will.
You're doing it right now. You just described it. Quantum Break. You're chasing the orbs.
I will. But the thing is that,
like, if you get them and you max out, are you that much more powerful?
No, you're not. But it's just that little ding. Hey, you got you've upgraded every single thing because you worked your ass off this entire game until the last chapter. So why not fuck you at the end?
Yeah.
Like, it's so frustrating. But so I left this room and I saved right before I left. And I was like, well, maybe it's one of those things where you come back through the room and time is, because there's certain rooms where you walk out, something happens, you walk back, and it's 2022. So everything's changed. So maybe the orb is gettable. So I saved, walked outside, fought all these guys, walked back into the same room, walked back over, and the same stupid orb is staring me in the face, and I can't get it. I was so pissed.
But the fact that you like the game enough to do that speaks volumes. So have you finished Quantum Break? Have you gotten all the way through it?
Yeah, game done.
So rate it. Give us a number.
I would give it, as far as the fact that I'm still thinking about it while playing another game, I'd give it at least a 9. Yeah, at least a 9. It's good. It's really good, and it's not long. You can bust through that game. If you call in sick one day because you want to play a game, this is the game to play because you can play it probably in 10 hours. Yeah. With all the full motion videos. Because you have to think there's 5 chapters, so that's
2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours of just watching videos.
Call into your job one day.
Yeah, so don't have to do that. I get a 2-week break. I got a 2-week break at the end of August before next semester, so that's probably what I'm going to do is burn through that.
But it's like I said, I'm playing Dishonored 2.
And it's not a co-op. It's not. It's definitely.
No, it's definitely single player. But it's meant to be like that, dude. I'm telling you, even the cutscenes that aren't full motion are so good. And like they have what's his name? He played a Hobbit in Lord of the Rings.
Sam guy went.
No, not Pippin. The other one. No, it is Pippin. Pippin.
The skinny one?
Yeah. Well, the one who doesn't knock the
Merrick?
No, when they're in the troll like underneath the earth when he backs up and he knocks the skeleton into the well. Him.
Isn't it the Mines of Moria or whatever?
It's Pippin. It's Pippin, or is it Mary?
I think Pippin's a blonde. I think Mary has the dark hair.
Okay, so he's Pippin. That's the character. Anyway, that's a very long walk on the beach to get that story.
Yeah.
But anyway, but he's in it. So the acting is really
My main
good.
question is, when you're walking on the beach with him, was his footsteps behind you?
No, I carried his ass the entire
Okay,
game.
I just want to make sure.
One set of footsteps.
But I brought
Mark
in
the
Dishonored
Ant.
2, which is a game that I'm playing right now, and man, it is a drag to get through this game.
Okay, well, let's one.
I mean, this game, it's so hard to get through. Like Dishonored 1, I remember being really fun. This one, it's not. Like it kind of feels like BioShock Infinite, like kind of the world's not as brightly colored, stuff like that, but the characters and stuff like that are kind of that same design where they're over exaggerated, like their heads are big and their arms are long and their legs are skinny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I finally got my powers so I can blink, which is where you can hold you hold the trigger button and you can put
For dry eyes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, you can finally moisturize your eyeballs.
You guys done?
Almost.
Sorry.
Sorry, we didn't take your video game seriously, Mark.
You jump to areas.
But it's called blinking.
It's called blinking. But I don't know. It's like I said. There's so much going on where you can go into buildings and you can. It's kind of like Fallout in that aspect, where you can go into buildings that have nothing to do with nothing and spend an hour clicking on stuff and nothing. You don't save anything. You don't get anything from it. And then you walk out of the building and you're like, well, hell, I just spent an hour in that building walking around and there's nothing that came from it. And that's why I'm playing the game. And the longest I played, I think, was this morning, and it was for 2 hours. And that's just because I'm going to talk about it on the show. Like, there's just nothing there. There's no substance. There's no story as of right now. Like, in the first game, the queen dies and you're her protector. Her daughter takes over. Well, the queen's sister, and this is on the trailer, the queen's sister comes back that no one knew existed. She's like a wizard of some sort.
Wait,
and takes over.
Spoiler alert, Mark. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh, well, it only came out like a year and a half ago.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
But no, there's absolutely no substance. And the entire time I'm playing it, I'm like, I could just go back and play Quantum Break and just play it a different way of only using one power instead of all of them and getting that achievement. So I don't know if I'm going to this is going to be one of the first games I have ever played besides that Burger King game. Sneaking. Yeah. Besides that game, this might be the only game I don't finish just to finish. Now, granted, I don't have all my powers. I don't have all the upgrades. I only have 10 bullets, so every 2 seconds you're running around looking for bullets. Like, I don't know. It's not a good game. I would say I wouldn't even, knowing what I know now as far as this game, I wouldn't even buy this game for $10.
So, but if you push the further into it, because
maybe,
from what I hear, it's a big, long game.
Maybe. But at the same time, I don't want to watch a TV show where they're like, oh, the third season it really picks up.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't care.
Battlestar Galactica is the only show where, like I had to push through the first episode until that moment, and everybody knows the moment I'm talking about. Until that moment with Six. Until that moment, because I was like, this is boring. I remember people saying, like, dude, just give it a chance. And so this video game is probably the same thing. Like, you're probably about, like, 10% through it, and you just don't know if you want to continue.
I have to be 4 hours into that game, and when I play it, I sit down and I'm like, it's for the show. It's for the show. All right. And then I'm playing, and I'm just like, God, I hate this. I don't want to keep playing. And then like 20 minutes later, and like Terry comes out, and she's like, what are you doing? Why do you look so pissed? I'm like, I'm playing a video game. She's like, well, why are you so mad? I'm like, because I hate it. It's just one of those things where I'm just like,
well,
I don't want to deal with it.
Maybe read a review of somebody that you really respect and see what their thoughts on it are, and maybe they had the same thoughts. Maybe they were like, hey, first 10 hours, like, man, it really picks up from there. Maybe that'll help you finish it. Oh, have you?
That's the only reason I bought it. That's the only reason I bought it was because the story is really good and the gameplay is tight. Now, okay, I'll tell you this about the controls. If you're just walking around and you're like, you can open up these cash registers, right, and get coins out. Well, the cash registers aren't just push button cash registers. There's this whole animation where these gears are turning, Art Deco, and all this crap, and the cash register opens.
Steampunk, right?
Yeah, after 5 seconds, which doesn't sound that long, the cash register opens. So you have to move the cursor, which feels like you're moving through mud. And then you get to the coin, you click it. Well, then you move to the next coin, and you see it highlight, so you click it, but it highlighted to close the cash register. So then you got to close it, which takes 5 seconds. Then you got to open it again. And then you got to click. And then when you're getting attacked, all of a sudden you're on insanity settings for Call of Duty. Just your sword, you are going everywhere. You have no idea what the hell you're doing. And then as soon as everybody's dead, he's back to like. And it's like, no.
So it goes from like Splinter Cell to Devil May Cry like that.
Yes. And it's so annoying because you take some massive damage. I mean, these dudes hit you and half your life's gone. Like 3 hits, you're dead. And you have this whole blocking thing where if you block him at the right time, it knocks him back, and then you use his power, you pull him, and you can kill him instantly, which is great if you're facing him. But when I swing, my character is all of a sudden looking this way, and I'm blocking over here. And I'm getting hit from this side. So then I got to work through mud, and as soon as he gets back to him, it's all of a sudden real quick, and then I end up over here again.
Okay. I like you're fighting hand motions.
That's right. I think I have nunchucks.
I'm gonna play air drums on your face. So that's disappointing. Well, see, I think as busy individuals and adults, we have a hard time slogging through something like that because we just don't have time to be patient with something like that.
Now, I guarantee you, by the next show, I'll have the game beat, and I'll give like a true review of everything that's in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now,
Stay with the registers, and you'll hit it beat pretty soon.
Oh, but I can't. You know how pissed I'm going to be if you don't need money in this game? Because I have gone around collecting coins everywhere. And if you don't need them, I'm going to be pissed. It's one of those, like, screw you. You collected all the coins in the game achievement. I'm going to be like, God damn it. The only achievement I wasn't chasing I actually got. All the other ones where you have to collect stuff, I can't get it.
With collection games, like I've given up. That's why I don't play Assassin's Creed anymore. I just can't collect any more things. I just don't have the patience for it.
Black Flag and Syndicate, you have to play.
I did play Black Flag. I think we have Unity, right, Gruder? I don't have Syndicate. That's
no, don't play Unity. Unity is the reason they took a 2-year hiatus from Assassin's Creed.
Well, but I've heard they've improved a lot of it. Like, I've heard that they patched the shit out of it and it's finally playable.
I don't know, man. There's some stuff in there where you have to actually do acrobatics in order to continue the story.
Well, look, if my character is going to do acrobatics and I physically can't do acrobatics, I'm not playing the game.
Well, then you shouldn't play any game.
You can't play any game because they physically all do things you can't do. John Marston.
Right there, right, Tree?
Yeah, John Marston rides a horse through the Old West. You physically can't do that. So.
Yes, I can.
The Old
I
West?
physically can get on a horse and ride through what looks like the Old West.
No, it looks like the Old West.
It doesn't matter what the horse wants. The horse takes it and likes it.
Can you shoot, kill, and skin a bear?
Yes.
You can?
Give me a gun, I'll shoot the bear.
Give
me a knife and I'll skin it.
You know how to clean and dress a bear.
Yeah, it's very easy to skin a bear. And then it's done. It's
yeah,
like,
but
according to the video games.
Animation for a dove. Well, yeah, that dove turned into a giant bear.
Yeah, that
the worst part about that is just that skinned animal laying on the ground. Like if you kill a dog, and it's like, oh, I feel like a dick now.
Yeah, it's just a pile of muscle. over just a pile of muscle over bone. Yeah. All right, everyone. I'm gonna attempt to do something fun here. I'm gonna try to review 4 movies in 5 minutes. I'm allowing a minute 20 for each movie in case there are any questions or any hitches. We're gonna start with Dunkirk. We're gonna do Valerian, Atomic Blonde, and Emoji Movie. And so on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. So Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, a bunch of other actors other than Kenneth Branagh that we don't know. It's a movie about World War II. British troops trapped on the beach of Dunkirk in France have to get across the English Channel back to England to protect England from the Nazis. They're being bombed from the air. They don't have any sea support, so they don't have any boats to get back across this channel. This movie's super boring. I literally almost fell asleep. Christopher Nolan, I love him. I love almost everything he does. This movie was boring. There was a nice little emotional moment towards the end of it. Once you get... This movie's boring. I'd give it like I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's a great looking movie. It's cinematic. It's well written. It's just the pacing's slow, and they do this jump cutting back and forth between timelines. It's a bit confusing. Anyway, the next movie is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
I see this one, so yeah.
I kind of like it. The chemistry between the two leads is kind of fun. They're young and it kind of works. The movie itself is fun as shit. It's super cool to look at. The story's okay. I didn't love the movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I'd give it a 7. Just for sheer fun and visceral fun. Pacing of the movie is cool. The sci-fi world they build in this movie. Luc Besson, the guy who did Fifth Element, did this. Super engaging. I like it. You're not going to get any deep meanings. There's not any preachy moments in this. There's no like deeper understanding of the universe that you're supposed to gather from this movie. It's just a fun adventure movie. So I definitely recommend seeing it. The next movie is Atomic Blonde, starring Charlize Theron and James McAvoy. Again, I'll give this a 6.5. I liked it slightly less than Valerian. It's fun. The action's cool. The story's eh. There's like 3 twists in the last 3 minutes of the movie that I sort of wish would have been more spaced out and sort of and more clearly explained. Because I got it, but I had to look at my wife and explain to her what just happened. So if that happens, then your movie's not. Then they maybe should have made it a little clearer. But Charlize Theron's good in it. It's basically John Wick meets Jane Bond, like a James Bond. She's a spy. She's a British spy. Anyway, it's cool. The writing's okay. There's nothing really terrible about the script. The action is great. James McAvoy is cool in it, but there are weird choices that the filmmaker made, like having one of the characters look at the camera and start narrating to the camera an hour and a half into the movie. Like, if you don't set something like that up early in the movie, it's just weird. So he starts looking at the camera and talking to us, the audience. Totally takes you out of the movie, and it's just weird. It didn't work. So I'll give it a 6.5 because it was fun to look at and it was a fun movie. But again, you're not going to get anything deeper or emotional out of this movie. And now on to the absolute cream of the crop in these movies. The Emoji Movie. Absolutely one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I had a feeling it was going to be crappy.
Oh, it's garbage. Like, this movie is poo-poo. Like, James Corden, it's got like a whole bunch of famous people in it. Patrick Stewart's in it. T.J. Miller. James Corden. Yeah, I'm going really fast. I understand.
No, just that it's... No, go ahead, you're good.
Anyway,
I'll explain it.
This movie it's donkey shit. Like, I took my kids to see it and they like it because it's colorful and
it's not the emotion movie, like the Inside Out or whatever it was.
No, like it seemed like they tried to take some of the part of the premise of that movie and put it in here, and they didn't follow through with it, and it didn't work at all. There's a bunch of things like possibilities in this movie that you see start develop at the beginning, but then they don't fucking follow through on any of it. The voice acting was good. Like, James Corden played like the hand emoji, the high five emoji. He was sort of all right, but as a movie, like, I give this a 1 out of 10. Like, this, I'll give it a 1.5 out of 10. It's colorful. I fell asleep 3 times, and I woke up because they were loud, stupid, like kid-friendly jump laughs. I don't know what you'd call that, like where they do something like slapsticky that kids might like. It's total poo. Yeah, yeah, and like so, like I'm sleeping and all of a sudden like something happens and my son giggles and I'm like, all right, I'm awake again, assholes. It's a terrible, terrible movie, and
Heaven forbid you make me up during a movie that I'm trying to sleep through.
yeah, how dare you, sir? How dare you? I paid for this movie. I can sleep whenever I want. It's garbage. So that's my 4 movie reviews in under 5 minutes, and thanks.
Because Mark put it in at 4 hours instead of 4 minutes.
I put it at 5 hours.
Or 5 hours.
But you went over by 10 seconds.
Did I? Because the video was only recording for 5:38.
4 hours, 54 minutes, and 32 seconds.
Okay. So.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Two Man No Clan this week. I know we've been out for the last 2 weeks, so we appreciate your patience. We are going to get back on the ball with having shows every week. It's just it's summertime. We all have families. We all have stuff we'd rather do. So, well, come on, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean.
But
you don't pay our bills. Just saying.
With saying that, like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Let them know we hate you. But we want you to watch.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Better come along.
Yeah. I mean, unless you got like swimming, eating, drinking. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Boating.
Yeah.
But normally to the show, we try to do it early in the day. So most of us aren't going to get up. Well, no, you might get up and you might get up.
I've been up since 2 a.m. and it's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the
afternoon. Did you see
afternoon.
that? Did you see it? The Rebels went down before 6.
No,
Yes, they
that's
did.
bull crap.
We had a debate earlier about this. Which one went out first? You know,
Yeah.
the Rebel Alliance or the Sith.
The last time before this one, the Sith died first.
That's because they're energy efficient. They want to make sure they conserve as much energy as possible to power the Death Star. That's what it is. That's all it is about.
What does the lightsaber have to do with that?
Huh?
What does the lightsaber have to do with Death Star?
Well, they're learning how to always constantly
You're
conserve
telling me that
energy.
there's a bunch of Sith lords at the bottom just like forcing all their power into the Death Star?
Again, they put that through everybody's mindset at all times. Now you must conserve energy at all times.
It's political BS. That's all it is.
Whatever.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That was embarrassing.
Go to the dark side.
Who the hell are you supposed to be?
I'm dark.
It's almost exactly perfect. The rebels are finally getting the hint.
It's all Hillary's fault. No! What? You're talking about Obi-Wan?
What? Hillary.
Obi-Wan?
Everyone's winning.
Conversation point of view.
Darth Vader.
Anyways, Tree, how you doing today?
Oh, well, my penis is inverted.
Oh, that kind of sucks right now. All right, well, I'll go ahead and switch my audio to my TV. Now, go ahead and start talking to us and see how you sound now.
One time I got a whole quarter stuck in my belly button.
Oh, that really does suck. All right, I guess we're good now. Go ahead and shut it down.
All
I
right.
thought we were already recording. I hate when we do this shit.
We are now.
Episode section of episode 50.